Hi students, let's learn English together. Today we are going to study the drama The Right Thing to Do by Martyn Ford. This story is about Rebecca, Patrick, and David who saw an unconscious man lying in the street. At first, they were hesitant to help, so they just stood there by the man and did nothing. That was until a woman in blue passed by and started instructing them on how to help the man. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to describe the plot and key events that took place in the drama, explain the physical and social settings, describe the characters and their characteristics, and lastly, you should be able to list down the themes and moral values. So, what are we waiting for? Let's begin! Let's study the plot summary for this drama. In this section, I'm going to use dramatic structure to describe the events that took place in this drama. Exposition. As Rebecca was walking along the street, she saw a man lying unconscious. She walked past by him and wondered what happened to the man. She turned back to have a look. As she walked, Patrick passed by and asked her what had happened. Not long after that, they got into an argument. Since Rebecca was there first, Patrick argued that she was responsible to help the man. They were interrupted when David, another passerby, asked them about the man. David really thought that the man looked ill. All three of them just stood there and watched. None of them tried to do anything. Instead, they were wondering why none of them would help the man. Rising action. A woman in blue arrived. She quickly knelt down to help the sick man. Rebecca and David questioned her and tried to stop her from helping the man. Rebecca told her it was none of her business since she was not a doctor, nor does she know the man. Rebecca was offended when the woman in blue told her to shut up. She immediately instructed the trio to help. She told David to call the ambulance and asked Rebecca to get some water while Patrick had to check the man's pulse. The three of them quickly obliged. Climax. While Patrick was checking for any sign of a pulse, the man suddenly regained consciousness. He whispered to Patrick and asked for his pills. Patrick quickly went through his pocket and found the pills. Rebecca finally returned with a glass of water. The woman in blue told Patrick to give the man his pills, and after taking those pills, the man felt better immediately. Knowing that the man was all right, the woman in blue walked away and went about her business. Falling action. David returned and told the rest that the ambulance was coming. As the doctor examined the man, he realized that he was Michael Scott, the famous celebrity chef. The ambulance took Michael Scott to the hospital for further examination. Before he left, Michael Scott thanked Rebecca, Patrick, and David for helping him. Resolution. Rebecca, Patrick, and David were very pleased for saving the man's life. David told them that the woman in blue helped too, but Rebecca and Patrick disagreed. They said that she did nothing and criticized the woman for walking away. All of them were proud of what they did and congratulated each other for doing the right thing. Now let's study the settings of this drama. The settings of this drama can be divided into two parts, which are physical and social setting. Physical settings. All of the events in this drama took place in a busy city sidewalk. It could have happened during the day and ended within less than an hour. Social setting. The social setting in this drama is set in modern day of a Western country. But how do we know? Well, the name of the characters are common English names. For example, Rebecca, Patrick, and David. We also know that this is set in an urban society where people seldom or are unwilling to give a helping hand to strangers. They also prefer not to get involved in matters that do not concern them. There are several characters in this story. Let's study all of them. Rebecca, Patrick, and David. Not much description was given about Rebecca, Patrick, and David. However, these characters shared the following characteristics. Curious. All of the characters were curious about the unconscious man. Rebecca walked past the man, but she turned back to see what happened. Patrick and David also asked Rebecca about the man, but they couldn't get an answer from her. Unsympathetic and apathetic. None of these characters displayed any concern towards the unconscious man. Instead, they just stood there and tried to speculate about what had happened to the man. Among the guesses that they made were the man was either dead, ill, or he was just asleep. Selfish. During the event, all of these characters were unwilling to get involved and refused to help the poor man. Instead, they were looking for excuses. For example, Patrick asked the others to help, but he did nothing, while Rebecca and David kept asking why it should be them helping the man. The woman in blue? The woman in blue is the fourth person to arrive at the scene. Just like the previous characters, not much description was given about her. However, she played a major role in coordinating Rebecca, Patrick, and David to help the man and do the right thing. The woman in blue has several characteristics. Firstly, she was responsible. She didn't hesitate to help the man the moment she saw him. She was also authoritative and commanding. She directed Rebecca, Patrick, and David to do practical things to help the man. For example, she told David to call the ambulance, Rebecca to get some water, while Patrick had to count the man's pulse. Lastly, the woman in blue was efficient and organized. She knew exactly what to do and was able to organize Rebecca, Patrick, and David to do different tasks at the same time. The theme in a story is the underlying message or the big idea. It is the belief that the author is trying to convey in the writing. This belief or idea surpasses cultural barriers. It is usually universal in nature. When a theme is universal, it touches on the human experience regardless of race or language. There are several themes highlighted in this drama. Let's study all of them. The first theme of this drama is responsibility and civic duty. Even though Rebecca, David, and Patrick flocked around the man, none of them made any effort to help him. They believed that it was not their responsibility to give the man a helping hand. The woman in blue, on the other hand, didn't hesitate to help him. She knew it was her duty and responsibility to help another human being. The second theme of this drama is helping others in need. At first, Rebecca, Patrick, and David were hesitant to help the man because none of them knew him. The moment they found out that he was a celebrity, they suddenly became proud and gladly took credit. On the other hand, the woman in blue quickly helped the man regardless of who he was. The last theme of this drama is taking charge in critical situations. During the event, the woman in blue quickly assessed the situation and determined what to do. She knew what needed to be done and instructed Rebecca, Patrick, and David with different tasks. Had she not been there, the man would have died. Moral values are standard accepted principles of life. It relates to the principles of right and wrong of a human character. It is also the standards of good and evil, which govern a person's behavior and choices. In literature, moral values are important lessons from writing which we can apply in life. There are several moral values highlighted in this drama. Let's study all of them. The first moral value is, we must help those who need our help without prejudice. We must help one another regardless of race, religion, and status. In the drama, the woman in blue quickly helped the man, although she had no idea who he was. To her, she was just doing her duty to help another human being. In comparison, Rebecca, Patrick, and David only felt happy and satisfied when they knew that the man was a celebrity. The second moral value of this drama is, we must help others with sincerity. When we help others, we must do it with sincerity and never expect something in return. This attitude was shown by the woman in blue, who quickly disappeared after she had done her duty. The last moral value of this drama is, it is wrong to take credit when not deserved. When the woman in blue disappeared from the scene, Rebecca, Patrick, and David did not acknowledge her contribution in helping the man. Instead, they dismissed her efforts and took all the credits. I hope you have learned new things from this video, and I hope to see you again soon. Till next time, bye!